We're set, we're balanced, we're good. Yup. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1.
I think I was a little
That's okay.
bummer.
That's all right. Welcome everyone to episode 9.
9, the actual episode.
Actual
9.
episode 9.
So sorry.
It's okay.
We got
Actual
ahead of
episode
ourselves.
9. We did. But it's the actual 9th episode of Exposure Therapy, and it's been a lovely ride. And we're going to have some really good topics today. And actually, it's just really one topic, but a multiple subtopic show in the one umbrella topic, let's say. Reese, what is the topic that we're talking about today?
That topic, say topic again, is editing in film.
Yep.
My favorite subject in film, editing. And we're going to talk about how it affects the film, some of our favorite examples, and also some of our favorite editors from just across cinema.
Yep.
Including older examples as well as some more recent examples. So.
Correct. Yeah. So I think I'd love to start with just editing in general, kind of my experience with it and how it's kind of influenced me and how much I really do love this art form. Because in a way, editing in and of itself is a different art form. There's so much that it can do that filmmaking itself, that actual production can't. And that, doing that, it just really just sweetens the whole package, let's say. So I think for me, I got into editing when it was in film school. Editing for me wasn't a huge thing in my earlier days. In high school, when making documentaries or, little fun movies for school, I did do some editing here and there, but I was like, no, I'm not a big fan. And then in film school and college, editing is something that you really have to be familiar with, and you are put in positions where you have to make a rough cut and fine cuts and everything like that. You have to go through the post process, and it's something that at the beginning I'm like, this sucks. I'm watching all this video, and I just, oh my God, and it was grueling. But
you discover how much you can do within the process.
Yeah.
Exactly. And we also learned the term that a story or script is rewritten basically, or is written 3 times. There's the first time it's written, then the rewrite, and then it's rewritten while you're shooting basically, and then it's also rewritten while you're editing it basically.
It is, yeah, 100%. I think there's a really good example of, in our senior thesis film we made, it was a time travel story, and there were several ways that we actually were able to rewrite the story through editing.
I remember we even had multiple endings.
Yeah, we were able to have multiple endings. So yeah, the editing is so powerful to the medium and to the way film can be portrayed. And I think when it comes to being exposed to it, when watching films as a kid, I was just like, it just felt so natural, because when you're not a filmmaker, you take editing for granted, because that's just what I see. Cool. What a cool movie. I wonder who shot it. I wonder who acted
all of the
it.
best editing is what you don't actually notice. It's what just pulls you in and you forget all about the fact that it's even a movie.
Exactly. Yeah, and editing to me is just it is, again, it's the true, you don't know how good it is because you actually don't notice it at all. And I think, now that being in film school and graduated and being a filmmaker, I take a lot more pride and I'm so grateful and have a much larger respect for editing, because I just didn't know about the process. And it's a hidden art that really it can make or break a film, 100%.
A lot of things can make or break a film, but editing has the luxury of including all of those things in itself.
Yeah, because it literally can break a film, because if you put a file in and then it completely you broke the film.
You could literally break your film.
Yeah.
And even in old days, if you, with actual physical film strips, if you don't have any copies, anything like that, and you cut it all up and you ruin your film, same thing there.
Yep. So yeah, I think just it's truly something that I think a lot of audiences take for granted, and hopefully we can kind of show you guys and tell you guys more about it, and can give you guys a new angle on it. Yeah.
And maybe the next time a scene cuts, you can be like, wow, that was a really good cut. And then everyone else in the room would be like, what are you talking about?
Exactly. Well, yeah, that's sometimes like with my mom. Like, she's noticing editing now. And it's like, that was a good cut. Like, it was.
Well, that was a very powerful fade away.
Yeah.
That was a real good fade transition on this TLC show.
Yeah, no, she doesn't really go about that.
Or what is it that she watches?
Hallmark.
Hallmark. Oh
Would
my
you
God.
watch
That match cut.
No, but she certainly knows when it's a good edit, which is helpful. So, yeah, it's really nice.
And I think it's only fitting if we talk about the king of editing first.
Yes.
The great Walter Murch himself.
Yep. Truly, one of the greatest film editors and a pioneer of the time is Walter Murch. And for the people who didn't go to film school, Walter Murch has talked about almost every class.
He comes up almost in every class. And like I mentioned before, how like editing, since everything kind of comes into that process, Walter Murch is also a very renowned sound designer.
Very.
And yeah, like you said, he just pops up everywhere. Can't escape him.
No, you can't.
And he's also written a bunch of books, so we got the privilege to read his books. You should check them out. My favorite one of the bunch is In the Blink of an Eye, which, speaking of which, is one of his strongest tips in editing, and something that you can try looking out for is that when an actor is speaking or going through their line, a good edit will cut when the actor or character blinks, because that's like a natural break in their cadence, sentence, their thought process internally, and it's all that's just one example of all those really small things in editing that adds up so much.
Yeah, it's he has so many tips and tricks and so much experience that really helped us in terms of understanding the pacing of an edit and the flow and how you should look at it and really appreciate it and embrace just the edit itself and the process. It's something that shouldn't be looked upon lightly. And also just, he's part of a great generation of filmmakers. He's part of the Spielbergs, the Coppolas, the Lucases, all this huge wave of pioneer filmmakers. And they truly, they made this whole new generation of filmmaking. And
what would you say is your favorite film that Murch has edited?
Favorite film that Murch has edited? It's probably just making sure he did do The Godfather. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, that excellent choice.
Yeah,
that's also one of the ones he's biggest well known for.
Yeah.
Even every film bro will talk about the diner scene in The Godfather, with the train noise, but there's no train. So this is actually very motivated, interesting stuff. It's just when you hear about it all the time, it gets pretty silly. But
when you hear
legitimately, the diner scene is a very well edited scene, and it's very tense. You can feel that tension.
It's phenomenal.
It carries all of that emotion through it, and then dumps it on you. And that's also done throughout the rest of the Godfather movies to great effect, I think. One of my favorite montages in general is from The Godfather when they're going through the baptism. I mean, hence the name The Godfather. And you have the whole montage of all the other gangsters being hit. That's an amazing scene. You get tons of what's the word? It's metatextual stuff, basically.
Yeah.
Because you can only say so much,
Yeah.
And so when you start juxtaposing all of subtext, thank you. When you start juxtaposing all those different scenes together so quickly under all that same pretense of the baptism, it's a very sinister scene, and I love that scene a ton.
Yeah, it's that scene is so powerful, and it really like Murch is someone who also understands character and performance. Like he's not wholly dedicated to just one side, technical or artistic. He has this great balance of knowing the artistic side of things as well. Like when it comes to that diner scene, he knew how powerful Pacino's performance was going to be. He knew the reactions, and he held on them because that's what you need to do in a scene like that. You know, if this was an editor just purely based on the technical side, he'd be like, oh, you know, I'm just going to cut now and go to like an insert or something. Like, no. Like if the diner scene was played where Pacino's staring just into the void after he gets the gun, and he's just staring into the void, and then it cuts to like a random glass on a table. What? Like what was
going
that?
on?
You would completely disrupt the flow. But when you have Walter Murch, someone who's like dialed into the artistry of it too and the flow, you get this beautiful marriage of a technical aspect, but also of an artistic aspect, where you have an editor raising the performance even higher onto this amazing pedestal. And I think it was like, I remember one of our professors was saying that like editing can also make or break a performance. That if you edit,
you can ruin a person's performance, or you can totally save a performance. Yeah.
Yep. And it's 100% like it's Al Pacino. The performance isn't going to be ruined. But the performance could have been subdued, but he didn't. He was able to raise it up and let it speak for itself. Yeah.
One other Murch edited film, and my favorite.
The Murch glaze don't stop.
The Murch glaze don't stop here.
Murch glaze don't stop.
Apocalypse Now.
Yup.
Great film that he edited as well. Yeah, literally the like very opening shot with the fan blades being the chopper blades. Perfect. Poetry in imagery.
Yep.
It's perfect.
Yeah. It's also, I think Apocalypse Now, it came out during the time where Dolby 5.1 surround was really happening. And I remember, I think in the documentary, where it was with The Cutting Edge or something with Walter Murch, talking about Apocalypse Now, he was talking about how they had to master it with all these speakers. And
That's right,
theater to theater, mastering it for Apocalypse Now. Yeah, it's sick. That opening's sick.
Great film. One of the all-time movies.
Yeah.
One of the all-time movies of movie history.
Yeah. Man.
But yes, thank you for joining us for our daily dose of Walter Murch glaze.
Yeah. So sorry. If it's not comic books or, horror, it's going to be Walter Murch. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a big guy. Big shoes.
Big shoes. Yeah.
Another great though.
Yep.
That I'd like to bring up.
Yep.
So, not Quentin Tarantino, but his longtime collaborator, Sally Menke.
Yes.
I think she is a great example of saving movies because, to be fair, Quentin Tarantino seems sometimes very scatterbrained, especially, in his run from 92 to 2009 with Sally Menke. Yeah. He was very unhinged, so I'm not sure what those films might have, ended up looking like without her touch and their work together. But together they made some very entertaining, very powerful films. And I do think that action sequences are one of the biggest proponents of editing, just because so much editing happens in it.
Yep.
Obviously there's a lot of planning and blocking, prep, stunt acting, all of that goes into it.
Huge.
But she's able to take his crazy works and scenes and turn them into incredibly entertaining, iconic pieces that just sticks into the zeitgeist of cinema.
Yeah. It's the power that I think she has over those films rivals that of Tarantino's in terms of just the creative weight that she has. And I think that should be how it is in terms of an editing director relationship.
I especially think this because if Quentin Tarantino is so in love with this pulp fiction idea where multiple, of his films are all out of order stories, that's a very much director's side thing to do. So I'd like to know how much of that was actually Sally Menke being like, okay, if we're gonna like rip this story apart, I think this is gonna be the best way to build it up and have it all make sense and come together and like have the different plots weave in and out, have the different characters meeting each other within said stories. A modern example that I think is very similar to that whole style is I'd have to look up the actual editor, but Barbarian and Weapons from Zach Krieger, just because I think it's more of in his writing. He writes his scripts. We've talked about this a little bit, like similar to the Herald style. Like not stand up, improv. And both of those films are told in kind of like a pulp fiction way. However, it's not. I don't know. I'll cut it there. I'll cut it there. That they're both that familiar pulp fiction storytelling. How much of it is editing versus script writing? That would be an interesting topic to investigate.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think there is this it's just a wave of inspirations that come from the way editors run and how they really form the way a movie's language is told and how a movie's pacing is given. And with the way the editing really flows, it creates such an inspirational chain of events with a lot of other editing and editors, and it's really it's pretty something actually when you think about it. And I think in terms of just some of the other editors that like I listed in terms of just my favorites and also ones that I just think do not go gently into that good night, and they tell you, I edited this film. Like it's their identity written all over it. Especially, I think when it comes to Dune, and in the Dune films, you have the editor. Bear with me.
What kind of bear is it? Dangerous?
It's a dangerous bear. The editor Joe Walker. Joe Walker was the editor for Dune Part 1, and I believe Part 2. But especially in Part 1, and that created that visual language and the pacing of these Dune films. And he really started this whole wave of the auditory identity of the Dune films, but also the visual identity. And when it comes to, because Joe Walker, I believe he won the Oscar for Dune 1 for Best Editing.
I believe so.
And it's just so well done. And you can just tell that he just gets it. He gets the artistry, but he also gets the technical side of things. It's this beautiful marriage where, when the pace is ramped up, when there's combat, when there's sieges, when there's stuff like that, he goes boom, boom, boom.
When to punch in and like make it claustrophobic.
Exactly. Yeah.
When to have it breathe and it's awe.
Yeah. Exactly.
Love it.
Yeah, and there's this amazing marriage of, I think, also it's the soundtrack. Like, the sound design in Dune is so well done. And this is a different topic, but it's so well done.
I think it's just like how much sound it like goes into editing as well.
Yeah, and how the sound really impacted the way I think that film was edited as well. Because when you have a sound of a Thopter's shield breaking through a missile, well, we're going to cut to that shot because the sound is so powerful and iconic. And it's just, he was able to, I think, balance everyone's work and everyone's like thoughtfulness and care and everything they did and make it shine. The sound editor, the visual effects supervisor, his own editing, Chalamet's performance, Zendaya's performance, Denis' just filmic eye, Greg Fraser's cinematography, and he was able to just really make it all sing.
I see.
It's amazing. Yeah. Thelma Schoonmaker as well.
One of the all-times.
One of the all-times, yeah. Close collaborator of Scorsese's. She is phenomenal. Her and Murch.
Raging Bull, like, one of the earliest
Yeah.
examples, at least for us, that I'd say is like very good, extreme, great editing. If
Yeah.
we if we go back further, I would love to talk about Méliès and his
Oh,
editing, but
yeah.
that's all very basic editing.
Méliès,
Turn
yeah.
of the century, like first person to be doing this stuff.
Yeah.
But speaking of Scorsese, Hugo.
Hugo.
Anyways,
Yeah.
I digress.
No, I think Schoonmaker and Murch as well, they're really special editors because they came from the time of physical editing. They came from the time of where it had I believe it was called the Moviola, something like that. It was these
But, like,
massive
big,
steel machines.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you like fed the film through and you had to burn it and tape
You got
it.
your little like eyepiece here.
Yeah. Yeah, you have the eyepiece, you have the little viewfinder,
Little
and then
foot
you
pedal.
also, yeah. And it's just crazy that like there were these clips I saw on my phone where it's like Scorsese and her sitting in the editing labs where it's these massive machines, and he's just like, "Can you reverse there? Yeah, thanks, cool, awesome." And it's just like, what? It's crazy.
Crazy stuff.
And now they now changed to digital, and how they were able to adapt it and really embrace the new change, but also take a lot of the principles and the mindsets that they got from their original time doing it physically to bring it to the nonlinear editing format. And so, yeah, I think it's also great because a great editor paired with a great director is truly a match made in heaven. Like, it's really, really good because you're able to have a mind meld and really figure out and have the same language and the same, form of communication.
Exactly how it's going to be made in the mind
Yeah.
into film.
Yeah.
Onto paper, film.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Thelma Schoonmaker was great. And I also think the editors who did Baby Driver, another contemporary one, is just phenomenal, where Edgar Wright has a very familiar style. Like, his style is punchy, lyrical, literally, and musical, literally. And it's and it makes it where the editors just they know what to do. They know their path. And, with the editors there, Paul Mackless and Jonathan Amos, they're just their ability to meld with what Edgar Wright had in mind. Again, the sign of a great editor is to really see where your director's coming from and have that kind of beautiful marriage right there and work with it. Because there's moments in Baby Driver where I'm like,
Holy
Jesus.
moly.
Yeah, like holy moly, like this is nuts. And, like,
Specifically, what comes to mind for me is the highway like fight chase scene during like I believe it's the second heist. Like that whole scene is crazy and kinetic, and you're following these trucks like front end to front end,
Yeah.
racing down the highway.
Yeah.
But like you're able to follow it all in the story, and you can like, I mean, and, like also this is big shout out to the cinematographer and also just Edgar Wright for like planning. Like, yeah, we need like these reaction shots of these of the drivers. I want to get like their emotion as well in there, and then just being able to capture those effectively, so the editor can then use those and be like, yes, I agree. Let's get that emotion in here.
Yeah.
And it's not just another Fast and Furious where it's just cars, and it's like really cool to see, but
Family.
but it's all out and it's just explosions and stuff. And I don't know.
Explosions and family.
It's I feel like it's hard to make especially a car chase scene as tight as it felt in that movie.
And as weighty.
Yeah.
It felt like you were there. And so it's not like you're floating and things like that. It felt visceral. And I think that's just...
It's kind of like a bystander, kind of effect theme with, I think, Edgar Wright in general. He likes to have angles that feel like very like from your eye. And like especially with like his camera movement, which, I mean, lends to great hilarious cuts and edits in the room of like whip pans and match cuts, like the Shaun of the Dead, or I forget what the three movies are that are all in Britain.
Oh, the Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah, the Cornetto trilogy. Like those are all amazing comedies that are great editing. That I think takes them from just like average comedy to like this is a actual cult thriller comedy, or this is a an actual zombie horror movie comedy.
Yeah. And I think it's just so like they do such a great job of just keeping that energy alive. Like it's not also just in the director's chair, it's in the editor's chair as well. And like you can see Edgar's hands all over it, but also the editors are all over it too. And like even when it comes to his use of like Texas switches with Edgar Wright, like in One Night in Soho, like that was.
I actually just watched that recently, and I gotta say that's like my least favorite Edgar Wright movie now.
Yeah, like
it's not a great
I've heard
one.
that. Yeah, but like there's still like this
drop
smoothness.
the ball on
it. It still had that like pizzazz of what he had.
You could stylistically see him on it.
Yeah. So yeah, I think just like editing in general, and especially now, like what non-linear editing programs have given us are some really phenomenal films and like great opportunities that I think back then it would be so much harder to achieve in just the physical editing space with machines and everything like that. It'd be way harder. Also, speaking of Raging Bull, you know, when it came to the editing of that, before Raging Bull, Scorsese directed the Bad music video with Michael Jackson.
Really?
Yeah.
That's even before Raging Bull?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was like 86. And
that's
so,
amazing.
Yeah, he directed that film. And because Michael Jackson, all of his music videos like were short films.
Yeah, crazy high production.
Yep, like he called them short films. He didn't call them music videos. And so he, you know, Martin Scorsese said Bad was this huge like predecessor for Raging Bull because we viewed the fight scenes as dancing.
That's awesome.
When we filmed dancing, it was this kind of flow and
it's a dance.
Majesty. It was a dance. And so, yeah, it's so interesting, like how inspirations of editing can also come from, like where it comes
That's
from
so
dance, or
cool.
it comes from, or like even when it comes in terms of like comic book films. Comic books become your editing touchstone too at times, where it's like panel to panel, this changes, and then the audience like fills it in. Like in the Spider-Verse films, like it cuts to like an insert here, an insert there, but they will also work within the art form and the source material they're given, but still editing finds so many inspirations to get it from. There's so many sources.
One last like personal favorite of mine, I talk about it like almost every time. Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Very good. Yeah.
The editor for this, or at least the head editor, was Paul Rogers. And as we spoke before, he worked very closely with both of the directors, the Daniels, and he had his two assistant directors. And there's plenty of like behind the scenes footage and basically like any of their like documentary type stuff of like in the making. They talk about their editing process of how they we had a small team of 5 people to do all of the special effects. And when I count that out, I'm like, oh, that just means it was their lead editor, the 2 of them, and the 2 assistant editors. And then you watch like them actually doing the editing like in a call together. I believe it was just like a Zoom call. And yeah, it's just literally the 5 people there, and they're all looking at the shared screen, going through it. And this is Everything Everywhere All at Once is, again, another film that won an Academy Award for editing. Paul Rogers got that, took that home. He went from directing his little indie film, The Death of Dick Long, to Eric Andre show editing, which is, you know, crazy, hilarious, hectic. And then he went ahead and won an Academy Award and a BAFTA.
Just go win an Academy Award.
It's just all the shit.
Yeah, whatever, totally.
He just made a masterpiece in editing. And that film, if you haven't seen it, I strongly suggest you do, because it's beautiful, hilarious, ridiculous. It's a little bit of everything all at once. And
roll credits.
Roll credits. Paul, Mr. Rogers, he is able to convey this this insane. And when I say it's insane, it is truly an insane, ridiculous story.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he builds it and portrays it
Yeah.
and carries you through and subsequently carries the energy of the film through with you,
Makes it feel so human.
it's such a beautiful human, and it just like hits you so hard.
Very funny.
And like, if I were to pick one specific scene from this movie, I'd say the last like final battle scene. And without spoiling too much, it's just you have this very fast-paced, like we were saying, fight action going on, and as it continues on, you don't like, instead of just dropping that all of that energy and ending something right away, it pulls it and extends it really long, and you have all of those extended shots, and it just becomes longer and longer, and you start seeing less of other people, and it's just longer shots of the two like main people, the mother and the daughter, because that's like what the story's truly. There are two main characters. This is who it's about, and everything else falls away, and what's truly important, all subtextually, is there for you to see. But then also at the same time, what you're seeing is like a big old black hole and people like dance fighting. It's like crazy stuff, but for whatever reason, I'm bawling and laughing at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's happening? Never have I like had a
me for
movie
real.
do that before or again since.
Yeah, that was me for real too. It's just like, just that scene was somehow, it was somehow crazy, but also, it made me bawl. And I'm like, oh my god, this is bagel.
And like,
God.
it like he picks up the speed and slows it down at the different points really well within the fight. So like, for example, Curtis, what's her name?
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep.
Her character gets like her whole little resolution and explanation at the beginning of the fight before it like all breaks out, and you get to see they have so many different like scenes recorded like for the editor to play with, but you get to see like their entire alternate life play out, and it's a beautiful little thing, and it's very reminiscent of a drama, a romance drama. Very Ryan Gosling, breaking my heart type of movie. But then you come back out and you pick back up into the fighting, and it feels natural, and it picks back into the speeds, and then it starts to slow down. You get the like all of these random side characters start getting their little bits, and they're not like so overbearing that they kill the speed. They're just enough to like stop and you go, oh, okay, yes, we're thinking about this. This is still here. This exists. This is a person within this world.
Seeds.
Like, it's not just another background character or like a problem that I'll have, especially like in Marvel movies and during fights, is like, oh, that's a stunt actor, because they're just dudes getting hit in a fight. They're the losers of the fights. But and that's one of like the beautiful things about it. It's like every single one of these people is a real person with lives and all this stuff, and how this one character, Michelle Yeoh, can change them using the power of love.
Yeah.
But amazing editing. Paul Rogers, eat your fucking heart out.
Yeah, he's amazing. That was such a phenomenally edited film. It's a great film, just of like all time. Like
I love it.
Of this decade. Like it's going to be up there.
One of the greats of our time for sure.
And so, I think that was really good. I just thought of another one, like an older one, the film Bullet, which is one of my dad's favorite films, with Steve McQueen. It has the best car chase scene ever.
Really?
Green Mustang Mach 1, driven by Steve McQueen in the streets of San Francisco.
Steve McQueen is crazy.
Yeah, in the streets of San Francisco. And it was, this guy, this like agent chasing him, and in this like black Lincoln or whatever, and it is just so, the way it is paced and how it starts so slow and like is this stalkerish kind of scene where, oh, there's this car in the back, and I'll let it go somewhere and I'll take a couple turns, and then it ends up at this high-speed chase down the desert, and then it ends as just this big fireball, and it like just crescendos, and then finally rests at the fiery crash of that car. And it's classic for a reason, because like that is car chase editing 101. Start slow, fast, crescendo, whatever, get in there, and then end, crash. Yeah, simple. Yeah, just amazing editing. Top Gun Maverick as well. That was great editing. The original Top Gun was great. Like a lot of like high octane like thrill ride movies usually have great editing.
Yeah.
Like Mission Impossibles always have great editing. Like the fight scene in the bathroom with Mission Impossible Fallout.
Oh yeah.
One of the best edited fight scenes of all time. So good that it grew Henry Cavill's beard back. It was so good.
I forgot about that little bit. Yeah, when he loads his arms, the testosterone's so much.
his beard comes back.
It literally grows a full like 2 centimeters instantly.
Yep. And so yeah, I just think it's like that was great. And then you have, what else? You had Marty Supreme. That was really well edited as well.
That was of the very recent, like this year. That was a great one.
Yeah, I haven't seen Challengers, but I did see the final like tennis match, and that's very well edited as well. F1 as well is also really good. F1.
I have not personally seen F1.
It's very good. Like it's like it cuts like it starts like it's a very not a basic structure, but it has a great way of doing it where it starts wide. You hear the cars, you hear everything like that. It starts medium, the crowd, you hear that, and then boom goes close. And you hear the gear shift, and you hear the paddle, you hear the crunch of the brakes, you hear the squeal, you hear all that. And it just cuts, face, wheel, brake burning, turning the wheel, and then like the visor, and then back to the crowd. Like it's editing's cool, man. Editing's
it's
just
so
sick.
cool. I love
it's just
it.
sick.
I'd also like to propose a question.
Yeah.
Would animated films and movies, or that's the same thing, animated projects basically, how much within it is considered editing versus just straight up animation?
That's a good point, because you really don't like.
It's a fairly different beast, animation, like at least creation wise, because I mean you're literally making it yourself. Everything is your own, and you're putting everything in. So, like, I'd love to like see anyone else like what they think of that.
Yeah, personally, I feel like editing is probably done in real time, where like
so like you think they finish, for like example 3D stuff, they finish rendering their scenes and then they start cutting them together, and I mean I assume they have their massive storyboards that animators usually do because they draw out everything ahead of time. So I'm sure there's a bit of it within that whole pre-production process of like deciding it ahead of time. Since you're almost like you like smash the production process into the. It's all within the computer, so it's less distinct. I feel. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like it's less distinct where like you're doing the previs or you're doing like you're modeling the animation, and then you're like actually do that. Let's see how that goes. And then you just editing is more so just in the brain. So I guess it's not like a thing where there's take after take after take of CG models.
But then like same question applied to like hand drawn animation and like animes, like stuff with like Studio Ghibli. How much of that is hand-drawn animation versus like what is considered editing even within that realm of animation?
I don't even know.
Besides like the simple cuts between scenes, I guess.
Well, I also thought of like Leica and their stop motion animation. Like how much is that editing? Because do they
stop motion? Yeah.
Do they record different takes of the stop motion and then like
that is curious.
Yeah.
Because like I know they have like all the different pieces and stuff that they do. Oh wow!
And stop motion.
Stop motion is such a scary like, but like beautiful craft. Oh my god! The patience and dedication required to do that. We could do. I think we should do at some point a stop motion episode.
Oh, that's a good. That'd
That'd be
idea.
fun.
Yeah.
Talk about Paranorman, Box Trolls.
Coraline's on my goddamn.
Coraline,
Yep.
classic.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else that you want to talk about today, editing wise?
Editing wise, I think like so much goes into trailers too when it comes to editing.
Yeah.
And how
also a constantly evolving form of technically commercials. Just you like if you look back at how much it's changed just from the 2000s to now, like the style of trailers, and then if you look back further to the 80s and back, like you remember the narrator in every trailer. It's like
anymore.
Follow 3, young children as they adventure through Neverland. Doesn't exist anymore.
I can imagine Stranger Things being like, follow these 4 kids as they uncover the psychic powers.
Doesn't happen though.
Long lost girl.
And then for like a while,
End horribly.
it felt like trailers were just like trying to get as big as possible, and then like we kept getting lots of trailer cover versions of songs that are like super dramatic and over the top.
I remember like the Transformers trailers. It was always like bwah, bwah.
The big one that like pops in mind for me is all of the Godzilla movies. They're crazy at doing that. They did it to freaking Claire de Lune.
But that's a pretty sick trailer.
I mean, it is a sick trailer, and it's already like a sick, pretty dramatic song.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, they went crazy with that.
They did. So I think trailers go so much into editing as well, and how editing is truly their art form, because that's the job. You just edit the trailer. Like you don't make it, you edit it. And so that's like really well. Like that's a highly important job, because that like if a bad trailer is like shown, that breaks a film. Like marketing is so huge nowadays.
Also, just think of this on the smaller scale. Any influencer or YouTuber, Instagrammer, anyone that's making their own content and posting it has to edit their stuff. So any content creator in this day and age, basically, because even if you do like do stuff, writing or like physical, you still got to take a video and post it. And you can have as simple as, just taking a video and hitting post. But then you also get people that do very in-depth, and like they'll spend hours in their phone editing, or they'll port it over to like their computer and edit it all on there, and you get like professional level editing on your phone stuff now. So like just how big the influence of editing is
pervasive.
And like how much of it you're actually like forced to do, even when it's like as small as just doing your own, high school pictures. So
like editing is huge. Like, this is edited. Like we don't.
This is all edited.
I don't post. We don't upload just the conversation like this. It's edited, and so
Believe
so much
it or
has
not,
to go
sometimes
into it.
we mess up, or I'll say something that is hard to bleep out.
That I don't notice, or we don't even notice. That Reese doesn't notice, or I don't notice, and we leave it in there. For you, avid.
It's like a little Easter egg.
Viewers.
It's like a reward.
It is a reward. I think that's pretty much it on me.
All right. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Thank you very much, and stay tuned for episode 10 of Exposure 3.
Woo! Double digits.
Season 1.
Double digits.
Adios.
Bye.